Odyssey app. And here she is laughing it up. What's up, man?
I had to fix my camera. You know?
Okay.
I mean, if you don't mind, where are we at?
Yeah.
I'm at the crib.
Just at a different spot.
No, I'm just in my house. Just, you know.
Oh, they're okay. They're all right.
Oh, you in VA.
Oh, yeah. She was at the WNBA game.
Yeah, I saw her at Barclays. Yeah, I saw her at Barclays.
Total.
All her friends are like you. They're all rich. You see, old boy had the Louis Vuitton sweater on. Like, man.
Yeah, my friends.
Oh my God. He told me he's a WNBA agent, owns a agency. Anyway, can't share it here, but there was a crazy story that I heard about Kennedy Carter. Man, it's
it's immediately believable.
Maybe one of the craziest stories I've heard about a college athlete / pro athlete in my life.
Yeah, just make it a group text.
Yeah,
I know you text Dane, but just go ahead and make it a group text this time, man. You know what I mean? Just go ahead and make it a group text.
How was the game? Were you okay with the way it ended?
No, I hated it. It was so disgusting. By the way, number one, I didn't put this on my video right after the game, but like Courtney's got to figure it out. Like, she's got to get her conditioning right. Courtney Williams found the worst possible time to turn into a pumpkin. She was so tentative. She wouldn't go all the way to the rack. She was terrified of Jonquel Jones. And missed, I don't know why, when you're tentative and you're not playing well and you've been benched and you're out of sorts physically, like they had to kind of load manage her through the series, why you would take the first 3 shots of overtime. Like, why do you think that you can just turn it on? Like, and she has turned it on. So maybe that was what she thought she was going to do. So that was number one. It felt to me the entire time, and I was texting with her agent, Courtney Williams' agent that you saw with the Louis Vuitton sweater. I was like, does it feel to you that the refs are so blatantly trying to get the Liberty back into this game? This is insanity. The physicality. Nafisa was getting hit in the face.
Yeah.
Multiple times. This is the first time in her career that she shot more than 11 times and not gone to the free throw line. She shot 23 times and not go to the free throw line once. That's crazy. The Stewie foul with 5 seconds left, 5.8 seconds left was crazy, considering that's exactly what I experienced in game 1 as well. So it was just absurd. The Kathy Engelbert wearing the New York, like, what are you doing, baby?
Yeah, that was whack.
Part of me is like, do I need to work for the league? Like, there are decisions that are absolutely disgusting. Like, you cannot show up with that dress on after that. Like, you need someone to go to Saks or to Marshall's is right across the street, Kathy. Put something else on. After these calls, the way that they were, you're putting anything else on. Because now the look looks like there's impropriety, which you cannot have. Unless you're going to say to me with a straight face that you had Twin Cities. You had St. Paul and Minneapolis skyline on another dress if they would have won. The whole thing is crazy. So
it's one of the most ill-conceived things I've ever seen a commissioner / president of a league do.
She's horrible.
She is awful. She's terrible. She's the worst.
She's got to go. If I'm the WNBA PA, I'm going to say, like, we're not doing any more. We are fine with just our players, like, unrivaled, just turning into the new WNBA down in Miami. Like, we are fine with that. We are fine with a work stoppage. We are fine with our players going to Europe for a year. We can't have a conversation until she's out of there. Out of there.
She's had a lot of missteps the last few months.
So many.
I am not a believer in conspiracy theories and games being fixed and all this other stuff. I'm just not, you know what I mean? Because my thing with that is always, if you think the games are fixed, then you have to believe the players are involved. Because how do you explain missed shots? How do you explain turnovers? There's certain things, I know, influence and all this other stuff, but at the end of the day, if somebody's making a shot, they're making a shot. You know what I mean? They're missing the shot. They're missing the shot. With all that being said, it's clear New York winning was what was best for business.
Yes.
And a lot of the stuff that took place, I'm with you guys. I didn't like it. It all leads to them looking out for the Liberty. And I hate to do that because I think the Liberty are a willing champion and deserving champion and all this other stuff. But the Stewie call, and just the discrepancy of foul. You talk about Nafisa
And
not
the
going
travel.
to travel.
Travel.
I don't know. And maybe it's all subconscious too. It doesn't have to be something overt or some type of big scheme or something like that. Maybe it's subconscious by those refs. They're human beings, but everything.
Yeah, you look up and see your boss wearing a New York skyline dress. Maybe you think about how you're calling this.
Yeah.
The whole thing was wild. To be in there was crazy. Sabrina, let me ask you guys this. If Caitlin did on that stage, even as a rookie in a closeout game, what Sabrina did, 1 for 19, what is happening on TV right now? What does the discourse look like right now on Twitter, on First Take? It was like crickets. Nobody wants to criticize. And I love Sabrina. As a Oregon Duck, she's the best. She's like, I can't hate on her. I'm like so rooting for her. But she was awful in that entire series outside of that game 3, where she somehow put the team on her back and hit some crucial shots. She hit 3 crucial shots and did absolutely nothing. And then she had that dime to Stewie for the lay. But overall, Sabrina was on a milk carton and she knows it. If that was Caitlin Clark, and I don't mean to center Caitlin Clark in the situation, but she's another guard in this league who is hyped up and is very good, right? And is an ISO player that plays, out to the logo. If that was Caitlin Clark, I think we would be experiencing a lot of criticism for her, even if it was in her rookie year.
Yeah, I agree with you. Sabrina, I knew it was all bad in that fourth quarter and I hate when shooters do this. I am against the follow your shot. Hell no. I'm standing up there with the follow through up until that ball goes through the net. And I knew it was all bad because at least a handful of times in that fourth quarter she'd shoot a 3 and run after the rebound immediately. It's like, oh, you're not seeing things right now. Like it's off, and that it's nerves, it's the defense, it's all this other stuff. But she wasn't there. She wasn't there to knock down them shots.
Alana Smith, unsung hero. She put Stewie in prison. My goodness. She was just strapped. And she was guarding Sabrina as well. And the Fisa Collier, we don't even talk about her enough in terms of she's 6'1". Mm-hmm. She's playing the center position, playing the power forward position at 6'1", going up against Jonquel Jones, going up against Breanna Stewart, making their life a living hell.
2 MVPs.
Come on now. Putting these girls in handcuffs. Defensive player of the year caliber. So, and I thought that Fibic for the Liberty as a rookie and a European player, she's going to really be one of the catalysts for rookies to come over from Europe and just immediately make a contribution. I think the WNBA right now is the interest and the discourse is at an all-time high, considering the NBA players were basically tweeting about it being a robbery for the entirety of that fourth quarter. It's really exciting to be able to have these conversations, and everybody in the chatty house knows what's going on. And it's not like,
well, the good news is too, like on the good part of it, not just the bad, is when Sabrina hit that shot, everybody went crazy. Like it was one of those things where it felt like everyone saw it.
Yes. And in the arena as well. That place is goosebumps. 19, what was it? Almost 19,000 people in there. You couldn't find an empty seat. I was looking all the way up to the rafters, all the way to the ceiling to see if there's any empty nosebleed seats. There was none. It was the volume, the excitement was better than, and I kid you not, better than any finals game I've ever been to. any NBA Finals game.
They're world champions, and I don't mean to disrespect them. I'm just analyzing what I saw. You could visibly see in that fourth quarter with Breanna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu, the moment was too big. The moment was,
which is crazy because Stewie's probably the greatest winner of the last decade and a half.
And
I don't 100% right.
This was different.
Nah,
Did she miss those 2 free throws, boy?
They were shook by that.
They were shook.
That moment of being in New York, the Liberty, Teaspoon, and all them people on it. Spike Lee.
What the hell was Swin Cash crying for?
I
you over here hugging Angel Reese. Like, what do you got to do with any of this?
I found that odd too. But you could just see in the way they played in the move, like something like Stewie on that shot, the foul shot where she misses it, and she's just like she saw a ghost. And like, oh, they called a foul. Okay, great. I was glad she made the free throws. I thought she was going to miss the free throws again.
Did you see Sandy Brondello? I posted this to Threads. Sandy Brondello after that timeout with 5.8 seconds left to go, she said, if you get hit, embellish it. They're going to call the foul. It's just a bad look, guys. It's just really a bad look.
Yeah, it wasn't the best way for this season to end. Obviously, it ended in dramatic fashion, which is great. It ended with eyeballs, close games get more eyes, but you don't want this to be the conversation.
No.
And that's tough. It was a hell of a year. Do you have any thoughts on the news we learned yesterday? I think a lot of people, the WNBA and the Players Association are ending this current collective bargaining agreement and we're preparing to negotiate a new one. The term work stoppage is being used a lot in articles. It's obviously very possible. Anytime you separate from a collective bargaining agreement, you have to renegotiate. A possibility of a work stoppage is obviously there. I really feel like the term work stoppage is being used to get you to click on the article right now because the odds of it happening, I think, are next to none.
Yeah, to me, what is happening here is really fascinating. And I've spent all morning today doing research on this exact topic, which is, I think the WNBA is shady. I think this is what's going on. I think there's plainly tomfoolery going on about the economics of this league. I think that's why the New York Post article came out earlier this week saying that the WNBA was slated to lose $40 million this year. So 2018, Adam Silver came out and said that the league was losing $10 million a year. That's the last time we've ever heard about the profitability or not profitability of this league, right? He's never said anything since. The league, the WNBA, never talks about it. So we don't really know, right? So let's just say that 2018 number is true. They lost $10 million in 2018. Profits, we'll just say revenues in general have gone up 100% in last season. We don't know what this season has brought, but $200 million in revenue, which is double and more than obviously what the revenue was in 2018. So how does the revenue increase by 5x and the losses also go up 5x, 4 to 5x? There is really suspicious stuff going on in terms of what the real economics are with this league. And I think about the charters, for example. We don't have the $25 million for the charters. Can't do it. Joe Tsai says, I'll pay for it. I've got it. I want everybody to be on planes. Somehow, Caitlin Clark comes in. She's like, listen, I've been on charter flights in Iowa. All of a sudden, the league comes out and finds $25 million, actually $50 million because it's over 2 years. Just finds it. We've got it. We have it. Everybody's on charter flights now. They have more money than they're saying. They're making more money than they're saying. The NHL, and you look at the rights fees and how dirty the WNBA got a deal done for whatever it was, like $10 million a year, when MLS is making way more money for way less viewers, $250 million per year with Apple TV. The economics, I don't have a full picture yet, But the economics, as somebody who majored in finance, do not make sense. And I think the WNBA, I'm willing to say I think the WNBA is profitable. I just don't think anybody wants us to believe that. Because then you have to pay the players. Because then you have to pay the players what they're worth.
Well, I think there's probably another issue too. As you were talking about the charters, the first thing that my mind is drawn to are the owners.
Yes.
There's no, with the exception of Joe Tsai, there's not a lot of like Steve Ballmers. I mean, I know there aren't Steve Ballmers, period, but there aren't guys of that that level of wealth. And I mean, there are guys that want to spend, and I always go to Michael Alter. He's a very nice man. He owns the Chicago Sky, but he runs the Chicago Sky like it's a convenience store. Like, and he wants to keep the overhead low and do all of this. And like, when you read things like consistency in facilities and travel, they're talking to people like Michael Alter. They're talking to the owner of the Chicago Sky when they say those things publicly. That is directly who they are talking to, because it's not across the board. There is a process in the NBA to become an owner. And part of that process is you have to, 5-star facilities, like everything has to be of a professional sports level. That hasn't been the case in the W since it's in existence, or really since they broke off from the NBA being every team being tied to the NBA.
Well, and there's a lot of that still going on too, where there's NBA owners who own these WNBA teams, and the economics, the WNBA players percentage wise are still significantly lower in terms of how much they're taking from the revenue of the W than even the NBA in 1976. So they're getting roughly 11% of the WNBA's revenue. If they were to get even 50-50 at the level that it's at right now, we're talking about a 5x increase in salaries. And I just think they're playing poor mouth so they don't have to pay players what they actually are worth. And the real saving grace is that I don't think Caitlin's going for it. I don't think her team's going for it. I think there's going to be big key players, star players, that are not going to allow being lied to about what the economics are, because I don't think that like Caitlin's going to get $250,000 a year from the WNBA. I think she'll get as much as her team can get, which means that's going to trickle down to the Nafisa Colliers of the world, the Breonna Stewarts of the world. And if I'm them, I'm only signing a short-term deal until this deal gets done in 2026.
Dame, I'd want to know why you think there's no chance of a work stoppage. I think this would be the time.
Yeah,
this would be when they have the most
leverage.
Who's they?
The players.
The players.
Yeah, that's the point. Like, if the owners run the writ, you stop, you lose everything. All of this, like, a strike has never been good for a single sports entity out there. This isn't the NFL where you just bounce back and it's no big deal. The NBA wasn't destroyed by it by any stretch of the imagination, but like, that was a rough year for them. It took them to, the W can't afford that. The Joe Tsais, the powerful, like the big money owners in the league, they are the ones who need to make sure this doesn't happen.
Oh, so you mean the owners won't let it happen?
No, I mean, the owners can't let it happen.
But the players will be willing to.
Absolutely. I absolutely believe the players would.
Page,
the owners can't.
Got you.
They can't afford. Like, you risk losing 27 years
you're right.
of momentum if this
league. But think about Rob Manfred. And like, that's kind of what I see Kathy Engelbert is like, they're running it almost like Major League Baseball. The books aren't open. We don't have any information. They're crying being poor. You've got a commissioner who I don't think really cares about the future of the sport. Mm-hmm. She's got to go. Like, she really has to go before this negotiation takes place, because as you said, Damien, it's very fragile right now. It's in a place where there's a potential for it to really boom, but there's a potential for it to crumble if there's a work stoppage. I don't think she gives a crap at all. I think she's willing to put her foot down, her proverbial, Louboutin down onto the ground, and say, you guys are going to get this. And I think the WNBA PA needs to put their foot down and say, listen, there's plenty of other places for us to go where we're doing huge numbers, and TNT is already doing a streaming deal with unrivaled player-owned leagues, right? And we're fine with that. We don't need you guys. And that 50-50 split has to be in there. And on top of that, what's also not being discussed is that league revenue is not added to the pot where it is in the NBA. So all of the television rights money does not go into the pot for the WNBA salaries the same way that it does for the NBA. That needs to be combined, because you get from 20% to 10% if you add in the TV rights deal. And that's only going to go up when a new TV rights deal is negotiated, because we're getting millions of viewers now on top of all the other revenue.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think the owners would or should play a game here. Give them what they want, so you can keep the momentum of what you invested, like you said, over 27 years at this point.
Refresh my memory, because you just brought up the TV deal. This was like a handshake thing, right? Where the W and the NBA signed this 10 or 11-year deal. And it was, if the WNBA continues to essentially outperform this TV deal, we go back to the table and we renegotiate how this all works. I wasn't clear who does the renegotiating. Was it the networks? Was it the NBA? Because I remember, didn't the PA say the NBA negotiated the deal? And they're like, how did you get to this?
The NBA like rolled the WNBA into their deal.
Right.
And that's like also shady, the whole
NBA claimed the WNBA on their taxes.
Yeah, essentially, they got a dependent.
And think about this. It helps and behooves the WNBA owners to claim a loss. A profit helps them in no way. It really is starting to piss me off that people are in my comments and in my mentions. Can you guys tell? Like saying that the WNBA... I'm very fired up about this. Saying that the WNBA isn't profitable and using that as a way to diminish the quality and the product that we're watching. And saying the reason that it's not profitable is because of X, Y, or Z. Or because it's not profitable, these players don't deserve X, Y, or Z. When the truth of the matter is we're getting finessed. There's all kinds of reasons for the WNBA to not be profitable. And that is tax implications. That is to keep salaries low. That is for negotiating power. That is to keep NBA owners happy because they're getting their investment. I mean, there's a lot of reasons here to keep that narrative going, which is why when that New York Post article came out, I was like, wow, it really is a dirty game.
Yeah, I'm not a finance major like yourself, but it doesn't add up to me that it's not profitable right now.
Where is the money going?
Yeah.
Why are you losing so much money? How could it be? They just got $75 million cash infusion from a bunch of investors that is ostensibly some of that money going to the charter flight. That's what they're saying. But even if it didn't, you've got that money. You've got the money coming out to the charter. Expenses haven't ballooned. Salaries haven't gone up. Attendance is going up. Merch sales are going up. TV ratings are going up. You have a new TV deal. Where is that money going that's taking you from a $10 million loss to a $40 million loss? How?
$30 million ads. Did Sweetie, who were the rappers? Was it Sweetie? Did she cost $30 million to write a song for the player? Like, it doesn't make sense that they're losing money, and especially that number. That number is crazy.
At a point when the league's interest has never been higher, attendance has never been higher. Fanatics is saying you've got WNBA jerseys selling out. We can't put enough of them in. You got 1.4 million people watching on TV. Where's the money going?
I don't know. I'm trying to.
But nobody can tell us, and nobody will tell us. And that's where I'm starting. My conspiracy, feelers are starting to, hackles are starting to go up. Like, I'm starting to believe as of today that the WNBA is profitable if they don't want to do the funny money math that they're doing.
Well, at the beginning of the season, I was having a conversation with a couple of the homies about whether it's profitable, whether NBA's lost money and all this other stuff. And one thing that I was able to find was nothing was clear. You would just get somebody writing something saying they've lost money. Like, and this has been going on for years. Like, it was never a breakdown of how, why, where the money's coming from. It was just, no, they've lost money. I was
They're
okay.
not
I'm looking for more. Yeah, I'm looking for more. I want to know how. Because I want to be able to talk my talk one way or the other. And I could never find anything.
Don't you think that's odd? Like, I feel that's odd. You know, we're starting to kind of, and I think these are the questions we should really be asking. I read a huge breakdown on it today in a business magazine, and they reached out to the WNBA for comment, and the league will not talk about what their economics are. I've now got a new mission. I've got time on my hands.
Investigative reporter Trysta Krick here on the scene. Camped outside the NBA office in an RV. Getting to the bottom of this.
It's facts. And speaking of, the investigation, there's a guy, David Barry, who just came out with a book called Slaying the Trolls, all about the profitability of the WNBA, or at least, that conversation around it. He's going to be a guest on the Heat Check soon, talking about this very thing.
Okay. What's his name again?
His name is David Berry, Berri. His handle on X is Wages of Wins.
Calling it X.
Yeah, calling it X. We're calling it X.
You're a professional. That's good. We still call the Commanders the football team, so just whatever.
What's going on with this jacket?
Me?
Yeah, you got like spray paint on the arms.
It's not spray paint. It's just
what is
fire.
it?
It's the logo. It's fire.
It's flames.
Like literal fire. It's flames.
I'm surprised you don't have as much, like a bunch of logos all over it as well.
Oh no, you're getting your jokes off. That's good. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Get all your jokes off. Go ahead. He was in the Instagram comments making jokes. It's
Fit
good.
watch.
You guys are some of the most swaggy. Like, you guys are so swaggy. Every time I
you
go
act
by
like
here,
you're a scrub. Like, what are you talking about? Like, we in this together. What you doing?
We ain't doing that, Trysta Krick.
You guys are just parlaying. You guys are just stunting, making sure everybody knows what time it is. Got the chain on, got the Kith logo on the t-shirt, got the New York Yankees.
Who wore Kith first?
I think I know the answer.
Go ahead, answer
the little one in the middle.
Yeah.
Was it?
It was you.
Absolutely.
It was you. It was you. You good? You got it out?
NBA season is here, guys. I'm excited. I don't know if you can tell.
KC got the Knicks winning the championship.
Man, it's so tenuous, though. We talked about this last week. But Mitchell Robinson's not going to be back until January. You got Precious Achiuwa, which I'm not.
He's out too, isn't he?
He's got a hamstring injury. Yeah, he's injured as well for, I think, 6 weeks. So who's their backup? Are they going to go and get somebody?
They got what's his name? Jericho Sims?
Sims. I think Sean's posted something that they're targeting some random, which who knows, right? And this is the issue.
On Whiteside bidding war.
Yeah. Go get, you can't get Andre Drummond now because Embiid's not doing back-to-backs. The Knicks are really going to have to thread the needle from an injury standpoint. And Mikal Bridges, his shot's broken. Like the first episode of Insecure when Issa Rae is that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, all right. Yep. All right.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, for the not everybody will get it, but that's fine. It's
a deep
pull, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's a deep pull. So that's straight broke. You got OG has not been healthy. You've got Jalen who's got his own set of issues.
Oh wow! So you're not buying this?
I'm not buying it. I want to buy it. I'm excited to get on board if I'm wrong. I really want to be wrong because they're fun, right? Like they have the potential to be awesome. Cat has had injury issues the last 2 years.
Yes.
Like it's a very fragile team. It's not as fragile as the 2 stars with Philly, But like they're fragile. Milwaukee, fragile. Sixers, fragile. New York, fragile.
And New York is not going to get any days off.
And then they won't get any days off.
Two days in the middle of the season.
Yeah, Tibbs is not going to load manage anybody. He's going to make you run wins.
He's gotten better with that. Will you guys leave him alone? Didn't he shed that rep already?
No, it's not.
No?
He has not. We had Josh Hart playing 48 minutes. You had Deuce
he didn't come out the entire play.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah, come on. Don't do that. Don't make me have to get into my facts bag. Come on. Yeah,
that's pretty crazy.
The NBA is nuts right now. Also, I know we're not talking about the West, and this is a total non sequitur, but keep your eye on Jonathan Kuminga. That man's up out of there. He is up out of there. Doesn't sign his extension for the Warriors. Came out last year to say, me and Steve Kerr aren't effing with each other. I don't think he can develop me in any way. I think I'm Kawhi Leonard. I think I'm Pascal Siakam. They can't get the extension done for $30 million a year. And he was trade bait for Lauri Markkanen. He's up out of there. He is trade deadline bait. But they're not going to pay him what he thinks he's worth. And if they can't pay him what he thinks he's worth, they're not going to let him go for nothing. They're not that dumb. So where's he going to go? I don't know.
That's interesting. That is interesting. And I see, and it was almost like, now that you kind of bring that up, it was almost like, I don't want to say disrespectful, but the Moses Moody, like to sign him. Like, oh, I know they kind of had to or whatever, but I don't know. It was odd to me that the Kuminga thing, they couldn't find out, but we gonna take care of Moses Moody.
Well, they got that story out quick though, didn't they? About what he wanted?
Yes.
I see it.
30 plus.
30 plus. No, they offered him 30 plus and he turned it down.
Oh, I misread that article.
Yeah, they were offering 30 and he wants Pascal money.
Damn.
Okay.
That's what I read.
Can you even get that? Like, is he in line to get it?
I don't know.
I don't know. And most
I don't understand the NBA.
3 years, $32 million. Think about how nasty work that is. The whole reason that he got that low of money is because Golden State won't play him. And so nobody knows what he's really worth, and nobody knows how good he could really be. It's Dubs nasty work. Nasty work.
Our Dubs. Do you think? Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask how she felt about our Kings. Like, I don't know when she's coming back out here to light the beam.
I know. I was literally just looking at dates, but I've decided I've committed to go to games this year. I don't know if you noticed. I've been going to games.
I've noticed.
I'm going to games, so I'm gonna come out to SAC. I want to do it when there's a few games, got a little homestand, and some good games. I'd love to see Wemby. But I'd like to also come out early. So we'll figure that out. I'm going to be out a couple times this year. I feel good about the Kings. I think this is a great regular season team at the very least, right? You got DeMar, who's one of the most clutch players in the fourth quarter. He and Fox are going to win you games single-handedly, games that you may not even should win. And that happened 2 years ago as well, where there was a lot of that. As long as this team can stay healthy, I think there's a potential to be like a 3 or 4 seed in the West.
What do you think about, like, what's your take on preseason? Because obviously the Kings had like one of the worst preseasons I've ever seen. We've all ever seen. But like, what do you think about preseason?
I don't mind. I don't like think about it really, unless I'm trying to spin a narrative myself that I already believe, right? Like I'm already Donovan Clingan Rookie of the Year, right? Like that's just because it's me, right? You got Donovan Clingan, 14 points, 20 rebounds, 4 blocks, and I'm like, could he win it? Could he win Rookie of the Year?
He looked good. He
did look good. And they're blowing out Utah, but I mean, I don't think you can really take much out of preseason. I think we'll know in the first 10 games, as long as there's no injury, because Foxy got injured early on in the season last year, right? If I remember correctly, he was banged up early. So we didn't know what the Kings were. And then things kind of like never really recovered, especially since Herter was still like ick. And, Harrison got his new deal. So I think we'll know if the whole team's healthy, we'll know. And then we'll be able to have a better discussion about it. But for right now, I think Denver is totally screwed. I think they're dead. I think they're really dead. Jamal Murray still has a hamstring injury, still has a knee injury. We can't do that. Like we can't do that. That's I've now written them off. They've been written.
But
They've been written. It's
okay,
done.
Nas. It was what's that mean though? Like,
I mean, okay, maybe they're a 7 seed.
Okay.
That's what that means. They're not a top 6 seed. If Jamal Murray is not 100% healthy, they will struggle. They're going to need Julian Strawther minutes to be really, really good. And if you think you're going to get those minutes from Julian Strawther, like Calvin Booth's really bad. He's really bad. Everything about him is sus. So they get the Aaron Gordon deal done, and they needed to keep Jokic happy. But this thing's been on a steady decline for the last since they won the title, in my opinion.
No, that's kind of a consensus.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're on the downturn. I think I have them still in the top 6 though.
No, it was written. There, get out of here.
I think the East. Yeah, see you later. So I think the East might be better than the West.
What was it 47.5? What was the number for Memphis?
47.5.
What more or less 47.5.
Ja fully healthy, more. Ja fully healthy, more.
Man.
Ja fully healthy. 49 win team. They're gonna be good. They're gonna be really good. Brandon Clark's fully healthy again. Zach Edey. I really like Zach Edey. I think what we've seen from him has been very encouraging. Ja and Edey together, really fun. Right? Desmond Bain, still top shooter in the league. You got the perimeter sort of lockdown. I like what they're doing. I mean, obviously, Gigi Jackson being out for the whole year is impactful, super impactful. I really like him a lot. But like people just forget Marcus Smart is there. Just forget. There's a lot of players you just forget are there because they've been so banged up over the last 12 months. Now we can really see them cooking. And Brandon Clark and Edey together, I think, will be super fun. Plus Jaren Jackson. Like, they just got dudes. They got dudes. They got dogs. They play a fun style of basketball. They want to win every game. Ja wants to play every game. That would be one to see. Kings, Grizzlies. What are you smirking at? Stay focused. Stay focused. Okay.
I just got a weird calendar invite.
To what?
What?
I have a meeting with it said it was titled Good News to Share.
What?
That's what it was titled.
Are you guys hiring me?
No, it's tomorrow before the show.
Good news to share.
And I'm the only one on it.
Yeah, what's going on here?
I have no idea. No, you're not.
You get your own show?
You're on it too? Okay, everybody got it.
Oh,
thank God.
I don't
know. It's a 15-minute meeting that says good news to share. Like, what is that? I don't even know who these people are.
I'm here now.
Such a derailing thing to bring up, I feel.
Well, I wasn't trying to. I was just like looked at it and was confused.
Why don't you just walk in? Walk in, Damien.
I'm struggling. I've had a bad day. I can't put sentences together.
Well,
I had a weird morning.
Yeah, well,
I had an amazing night that led to the weird. It was tough. Yeah.
You had to take somebody out like Jason Sudeikis, walk her to the L. You had to walk her to the L train. You had a good night, weird morning.
What are you talking about?
Casey knows what I'm talking about.
You had a good night.
A good night.
They're not related. They're not related.
They're not related. No, but he said it turned into it. He said a good night turned into a weird morning.
No, they're unrelated.
My mind went to he had a little bitty over and he had trouble getting her out the door.
You wild dude. You know I'm a grown ass man, right? You know that.
Jason Sudeikis, guys. Jason Sudeikis. The tea from New York is that Jason Sudeikis has girls coming over and he's walking them to the L train the next day.
Who is Jason? Who is he?
Ted Lasso.
Okay.
If Ted Lasso can do it, then Damian Barling can do it.
Did he get an Uber? My gosh, why do I got to take the train?
What happened is I accidentally listened to R. Kelly this morning.
Oh, because you had it on last night.
No, wow. No, that's not what happened. Somebody was messing with the iPad and threw off the algorithm. and on my way in, R. Kelly came on.
Who was messing
And
with the algorithm?
Kimberly, I believe. I can't remember if you met Kimberly or not, but we threw Kim a little party at the house, and she got a little touchy with the iPad and threw in like ignition or something.
Wow.
That's what we're calling it these days. A little touchy with the iPad.
No, you see what she? No, this is what she's doing. I know what you're doing. She got into my Instagram comments because I posted like some song lyrics, and she's like, she's been digging since then.
By the way, did you know that if you stream R. Kelly, the victims get the royalty money?
Ben sent that because he was responding to the show from 2 hours ago, and I did not know that.
So maybe you should stream it up.
Do you listen to Robert?
I can't say I actively do it, but I don't like.
You don't turn.
Well, I didn't turn it off. I'll say that was the true dilemma that happened.
Because it's bangers. That's basically it. No, I don't ever say, Siri, play R. Kelly. No, that would be the first time ever.
Look, TK, I said earlier, I'm a man. I keep it a stack at all times, and I had a conversation about a week ago. No lie, I said I've done my time. Like, it's fine. I've done my time. I'm not doing the entire sentence with Robert. I've done my time. I'm a free man. I'm out of here. Play.
And which play? Which play? Can we say the same thing about Michael? Like, we can't have
Michael who?
Oh,
Michael ain't do nothing.
We don't know.
We don't have no problem playing Michael Jackson around here.
See, this is what I'm saying. You're taking the moral high ground on one thing.
No, because Michael ain't do nothing.
We can't play No Way Out either. We can't play Diddy.
Well,
we can't play Puff Daddy
actually, we can't.
Well,
we have edited Sean out of everything.
I've been missing you. No, I've been missing.
No, it's I'll be missing you, and no, that gets no run.
No run.
No,
at the bar house.
No. We had to edit his verse out of last night.
Yeah, that one sounds weird.
He's gone.
He's gone. You should be editing him out anyway. He was a terrible rapper. Like, really.
Well, that's a solid.
Well, he wasn't even. People were writing the rhyme, so I don't know if Loon was a bad rapper.
He wasn't writing all of them.
No, he was writing some. They're bad ones.
I don't think he wrote any.
Oh, I don't think that's true.
I don't think Puff wrote any rhymes.
Wow,
not one. You got too many things going on.
I can't believe you invoked Michael Jackson's name in this.
You listening to Chris Brown? Where do we stop it?
Well, I saw Chris Brown in person.
So no, you're not doing that.
Look, I'm not saying that this makes sense, Trysta. You a little too. You know what? We've gone long enough. We've got to wrap this up. Trysta's way too goddamn fiery today. She's picking fights. We'll come back. It's D'Lo and KC on ESPN 1320. That was amazing.
You guys are so great. I love you.
That was amazing.
All right, I'll talk to you guys soon.
Real quick, when you look at your Sacramento stuff, they're home a lot in December. That's around the holidays, but
perfect.
The whole month they're around.
Okay, I'll look at it. I'm coming though. I'm coming through.
Okay.
All right.